Welcome back, everybody. This is Grace, and today I wanted to do a very brief, very relaxed little walkthrough of an item I think doesn't get enough love, or at least I haven't seen publicly talked about getting enough love, and that is the Nilak's Charm Surfboard. So what this weapon does, it's a simple melee ice weapon. You attack with it, nothing crazy happens, but what it does, if you click it, does it read it? Nope. Okay, let's get rid of that shield so we can click box. No click box, but what you will notice... Hold on, let me pause because I forgot something from my inventory. Okay, so we're back. What you will notice is that if you use an effect to burn the foe, like say a burn spell, now I'm using the magic one for the burn spell, just pretend it's the melee one because it does have a melee version. But if you notice that, we've got now a power 2 duration, power 2 burn for 4 turns. Let's see what happens. We devour the foe's burn to boost your strength and charisma. Now we got a 46 boost for 2 rounds. The maximum boost you can get is up to 117, I believe. Now we're going to leave inflicted with a stronger burn in just a moment, and show you that maximum boost you can get. So we won't need this in boost shield, but Burning Question was probably a bad example to start with. One thing that anyone can use is Sunburst Amulet. This inflicts a massive burn. We've got power 5.87 for 5 rounds. It ticks down to 4 on the monster's turn. But as long as your power times your duration is at least 20, you will get the max eat of, and now you'll see, 117 strength and 117 charisma for 3 rounds. Now this is pretty huge. One, because it's actually 4 rounds, because the stat boost is still active on your next turn, and because 117 strength is about 24%, yeah, 24% damage increase, not to mention the accuracy boost you get, which is, I believe 18, no, maybe 19, anyways. But the charisma is also a 24% damage increase, and also these stats, both charisma and strength together, give that 18, 19 BTH also to your pet and guest. So if I were to say call out maybe necromancers, I don't know, roll with me here for a second, Deathless Dracolich, guest, and Deathless Dracolich pet, and I'm sure you can see where we're going with this, but if I were to call out these guys, they will now deal 25%, about 25% more damage, and have about 19% or 19 more accuracy. Now, that's awesome. Stat boosts are awesome. There's a lot of ways to inflict burn. I'll go through a few of them. One thing I do want to warn you about though is right now this guy has a weak burn, power 0.87 for 3 rounds. That's like not even 30% melee. If we attack him, you'll see what will happen to my strength and charisma boost. It goes down to 55.8 for 5 rounds. We don't want that. That's no good. Don't attack with this weapon for 2 turns in a row unless you are sure you've inflicted enough burn to get a full eat. Instead, switch to a different weapon. Maybe a burn weapon. Hold on, I'll hide my pet so I can actually trigger it. Use some Essence Orb because we're doing whatever, but Heroic Titan is a great way to inflict enough burn for this eat. Let's see, where's my Nemesis armor? Nemesis armor is nowhere to be found. Okay. Go use this because it has a weapon-based skill. So we got that power 4 fire burn. That's permanent. Permanent is 10 turns. That's 4 times 10, 400, or 40 times 10, 400. I forget what I said for the numbers, but anyways, we can reuse the surfboard, attack again, and we will get a much bigger boost. Now it is still diluted because we had that 55 boost. So what I'm really trying to say is when you're using this weapon, get a full eat, and then stop using the weapon, switch to something else. Because otherwise you'll dilute your boost for no reason. Now with that being said, I'm going to leave the battle and run some combos, or a couple combos. I'm going to try and keep this video under 10 minutes. Run a couple combos that I enjoy. One very obvious one, Neko. Now I'm pretty sure this is actually Luna Neko, Please hold while I pause the video and come back. Okay, we're back with the real... Sorry, I love Luna Neko more than the next guy, but we're back with the real... and we'll just use multi-mall, why not? Just for accuracy. But let's just say we're using these two. We want to turn on our elemental attunement. And let's see how much burn these two pop off with. We got 8.5 for 2 rounds, 8.5 for 1 round after it ticks down. If I give them celerity, which I don't have, but that could be about 16 or 17 for a round, that would be almost a max eat. I get Nilak Charm Surfboard out and pop off. Another thing you can do is use a longer duration burn, like Burning Question, which is 5 turns, or Sunburst Amulet, which is also 5 turns. And if you have Fire, Burn, Pet, and Guest, like these guys, right now they're seeking Dark, but often they seek Fire. I mean, depends on the circumstance. Obviously, will they seek Fire or Dark? They default to Dark, but can do Fire if it's higher. If you spread that power over a longer duration burn, then you will be able to eat more because less of the burn will go away each turn. I.e., if a shorter duration burn, if you inflict a 2-turn burn, you lose half the power each turn that they could eat. If you inflict a 5-turn burn, you only lose 20% of the power that you could eat. So, pros and cons. But I really do like this combo. You could also use a burn weapon yourself, like Kandi's sword. That's kind of a bad example, but the Heroic Titan weapon, Thunderlord's weapon. There's a lot of weapons you could use for burn. Let's say I've had enough, 12.5%. I think that should be a half power eat. So what, like 60, 70? Yeah, 74. Which is still about a little more than half the boost. So probably like 15% damage and like 12 accuracy. No, not 12. Yeah, actually 12. So even if you don't get a max eat, this weapon is really good. Some items I like to combo with. Obvious one is Sunburst Amulet. Like I said, Neko with a Burn, Pet, and Guest. The longer duration, the better. Give them celerity, take it to the moon. Another thing I like to do, I mean, there's a lot of burn items. Paladin actually has a very good burn because it's, well, I say very good, relatively good, because if you'll see this light burn, we're paying a small amount of SP for it, but it's 84% melee, 85% melee. That's because it gets Helicomp to its power. So actually, if we make this fully offensive, it should even do... I can't click. If you make it fully offensive, it'll actually burn for a little bit more too, because the Helicomp is higher. We have to wait a turn, so it doesn't dilute the power. So we had 4.24 for 2 turns, or for 3, I suppose, of light damage. Let's see what we get now with the FO toggle on. 4.58, so a little bit more. 90% melee instead of 85 or whatever. Anyways, I like Paladin for it. There's a lot of miscs that will let you do burn on basic attack. Oni Mask is one. The 2 clones for it that are less rare. Well, that ice one might be rare now at this point. We'll see. But Parian Crest is what I'm talking about. There's a couple of GGBs as well. Like the Legion Monster Lord misc. Or not the misc, but the... well, there's the Legion Monster Lord water weapons, which are great. There's the Legion Ice Lantern, I believe, which is a ice mist for ice burn. There's the the New Year's Blade weapon, which is, I think, 200% melee if you hit all the hits. Well, you need celerity, but speaking of celerity, we're going to flee this battle and show one more trick that I really like with this weapon. Now, as you saw, the problem I was running into was my burn would tick down a turn and be weaker, so I wouldn't get strong of an eat out of my burn. The thing is, you don't have to worry about that if you use a clone pet. The clone pet, so I'm not attacking, so if I use Sunburst Amulet, my burn will tick down to 4 turns, but clone pet uses the weapon, attacks with it, triggers the effect, so I get that full eat. Now with Sunburst, it wouldn't matter, I still would have gotten that 200% melee eat, but the clone pet makes it so you can do it without celerity. Let's say you have a pet and guest, or a weapon and a guest, and you just barely get above 200% melee, but if the turn would tick down, you'd be under, and you wouldn't get as good of an eat. Use the clone pet, add that in there, get a little more pizzazz, don't need celerity, you can just have it on your turn, next turn, ready to go. I'm a big fan. I think this weapon is awesome. We're running up to 10 minutes, so I'm going to call it here. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you like this quick ramble style video. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if it was totally incoherent, excuse me. But either way, have a great day. Spread some peace and love, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye. For anyone looking, this is a rare golden gift box. I totally forgot to mention. Rare golden gift box. See you later. Mwah.